Thanks for watching my video. Today we're going to remove the rear wheel from a Ducati 800 SS. We are also going to remove the chain and sprockets. This next video after this one we'll be putting the rear wheel on, installing chain and sprockets, and adjusting the chain. So stay tuned. That video is very long. So we're going to replace this plastic cover that protects the front sprocket, and then we have a 8mm bolt. There's two of them here that have like a little retaining clip that keeps the sprocket on the counter shaft. So Ducati's actually one of the easier bikes to replace sprockets on. Some bikes have a big old bolt right in the middle of the counter shaft, so it makes it almost impossible, especially if the last guy over torqued that counter shaft bolt, and then your impact can't even get that bolt off. So this is a nice setup. This one's kind of rusty since the bike's been setting, so just hose it down with a little WD-40 or any kind of penetrating oil, and then go back and work on the back of the bike. And when you get done with the back of the bike, that little plate will pop right off your sprocket. You'll see. So now I'm just removing the nuts. I'm not removing the nuts. I'm loosening the nuts that hold the rear sprocket on. You want to do this with the chain in place in case those nuts have been over tightened. Once you get the wheel off, it's a lot more difficult to get these nuts free. So I do two at a time, and then I just turn the wheel. I turn the wheel, I put the bike in gear, I loosen two of the nuts, take the bike out of gear, roll the wheel, do the next two. So I roll the wheel. Now I'm going to put the bike back in gear. And these should be the last two that I need to tighten or loosen up. Here we go. We're going to loosen them up. Again, we're not going to take them off. We're going to take those off later once the wheel's off the bike. It's easier. Trust me on that, it's easier. We'll put it back into neutral one last time. Now, you can use a chain breaker to remove your old chain, but I've found that a decent set of bolt cutters is the fastest way to break your chain off. It just takes two snaps, one on each side, and then just pull your chain off the back of the bike. This chain was pretty nasty, so that's why I'm replacing it. It was still serviceable. It was just real rusty from the bike sitting for so long. The sprockets on this bike are good. Again, just rusty, kind of nasty. So I loosened up the axle nut, and I pull off the spacer and the little chain adjustment guide. We push the axle through as much as possible. Now we're going to pull the axle out of the wheel, set it down aside. This particular bike is really actually hard to get the wheel past the caliper. It's not the best design in the world. I've seen worse, but there's a little pin that sticks off the inside of the swing arm that caliper rides on, so it makes it kind of a pain in the ass to get that caliper off. Once you get your wheel off, you're good to go. So another reason I leave the sprocket on, or leave the nuts on the sprocket, is like this one. Those little shafts are kind of rusted into the cush drive. The cush drive are the little rubber pieces that are inside the wheel. So now we've removed the rear wheel. I've checked my bearings to make sure they're okay. So that part of this is done. I want to check my brakes, make sure my brake pads are still serviceable. They look pretty good. Now we're going to remove the front sprocket. So you see it was only a few minutes that that WD-40 sat on there, and that little retainer will slide right off now. It's on the ground, and your sprocket will slide right off. So thanks for watching this video. Come back and I'll show you how to put all this back together. Plan on spending a half hour with me for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.